Hey everyone. So this isn't so much one of like Mia's mini hack as much as it's just some observations and some recommendations that I've come up with to handle the stress of this time that we are in with this pandemic. Uh, One of the things that I realized this week, and maybe it's totally obvious, is that people do not all handle their anxiety. They don't express their anxiety in the same ways. And there are the people who love to keep busy and just power through and keep themselves occupied so they don't have to think about the things that are making them anxious. And then there are the people who just completely shut down and want to sit in front of the TV or in front of a screen and veg out and not think about anything at all. And productivity is like the last thing on their mind. And of course, like everything, this is a spectrum and there are people sort of everywhere on it. I sometimes want to be productive, but with things that I don't actually need to be doing. Like my taxes, I don't want to do my taxes. Like I have no interest in that right now, but I've been painting pictures, haven't since high school, but now I'm doing it because, hey, it helps me get out of my head. And which is something I think we should think about. I've been realizing that we're really inundated with words and information right now. We keep looking up data and how many people are sick and how many people are dead, and we're reading all these articles and we're scrolling through news feeds and we're reading posts, and we're just taking and taking and taking in, and it's all this verbal and numerical information, and it's kind of overwhelming. And one of the things that I've found is doing things that are not verbal are really helpful for calming you down, getting you out of your head. So things like dancing or watching dance, baking, cooking, cleaning, gardening. There's all sorts of things that we can do sort of with our hands and that are keeping us busy. You want to repaint a room in your house, now is a really good time to do that. Cleaning can be a little bit of a double-edged sword because I've definitely seen some people who are anxiety cleaning, who are cleaning like it's going to save their life. And honestly, if you've been staying at home for all this time, uh, your home is probably not contaminated. And, if you want to wipe down your groceries when they come in the house, that's fine. But you don't really need to bleach them, or like you can just wash things as you use them and wash your hands when you come home. If you're really going over the top and your coping mechanism is making everybody else in your house really anxious, you should look at whether or not you're more helpful or harmful to the ecosystem in your house. So, like, and a lot of this advice right now is for like those of us who are hostages, who have to obey the stay at home orders, who are either working from home or not working at all. For all of you first responder, essential worker people, thank you so much for being out there and doing what you do. We all really appreciate you. But for those of us stuck at home, we've got to figure out how to do it in such a way that we don't want to kill each other. And I think some people have already hit that point, and we need to figure out ways of backing off. One of the major complaints I've heard is about school and their children and the homework and the Zoom stuff. And I keep hearing this phrase like, oh, it counts now. Now it counts. Like before it didn't really count, but now it's all like pass fail, or I don't even know what people are saying at this point, but none of it counts. None of it matters. All right. If school is online school is helping your kid and giving them structure and making them feel like they're doing something and giving them a sense of security, then fantastic. You set them up, you get them going, you let them have that routine, you let them have that socialization with their friends. If the homeschooling is stressing your kid out, if it is worse than regular school, if it is causing tantrums and they are acting like toddlers or teenagers when they are not toddlers or teenagers, then this is not a good thing for them. You don't have to make them do it. You can make other choices. You can say, okay, here are the things that you can do today. You can help me plant the garden. You can read this book. You can help me bake this thing. Like, this is a great time for life skills, right? Because we got kind of nothing better to do than sit at home and make food for ourselves and clean out things and, do a little spring cleaning, plant the garden. Let your kids help with all of that stuff. let them feel useful. Give them some good life skills during this time. Okay. And don't worry about the math and the history if it's stressing them out too bad. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for you. It's not worth it for them. And the teachers, oh my God, they're working so hard. It is so much harder to teach in this medium. It is so much harder to learn in this medium. So, and it works for way fewer people. Like just the standard classroom teaching does not work for all kids, which we know. But then this is like works for, 10 people in 100. This is hard. It's boring. It's not a great way to communicate. And teachers are working like 8 times harder than normal to try and convey what they need, to try and engage their students, to give them things to do that they can do that don't involve this Zoom so they can stop doing some of this. So, take it easy on the teachers too. And teachers, take it easy on yourself. I mean, just freaking cut yourself some slack. Don't feel like you have to live up to this standard that is just not possible in this time. We are living in an unprecedented time, and we're really lucky that we can like stream each other's faces in and communicate with the people we love and be entertained by endless amounts of YouTube videos and entertainment. But we don't have to achieve great things in this time. We have to get through this time. And so what I guess I ask of everyone is to think about, how do you cope? Does anxiety make you do more? Does it make you do less? What are the tools you're using to cope? Are those tools helpful? Are they helping you but hurting others? There are those tools that sometimes help you, but then hurt others, and that's not great. So then maybe you need to find other tools. There are those of us out there like me who I have an anxiety disorder. I've been dealing with anxiety my whole life. I have medication. I have lots of tools. I know how to do this. And I know a lot of you are kind of new to the whole anxiety thing, and it's challenging. So just, I guess, cut each other so much slack. Don't feel like because there's some rule out there, especially given by the school, that you have to follow. Like the sky is not going to fall. Like the goal here is to try not to get COVID-19 and try not to die. Those are the goals, right? And keep your sanity and try and keep yourself from wanting to kill the people you live with. Those are the goals. Not trying to get schoolwork done, not trying to get your taxes done, like just trying to survive this time. All right. So lead with kindness, be kind to yourself, be kind to everybody that you come in contact with. Be really grateful to all of the people out there doing the work so that we can stay home and be safe. And that's kind of it. All right. I'm out.